So this is gonna be a heads up, fair warning. If you don't want to know how basically the government is behind all pretty much school shootings, cancel culture, wokeness, woke culture, which is where basically, and it may not, there's no proof that the government is behind this installation of what is the beginning of, their attempt at the communist and socialist regime takeover of the United States of America. As they surveil every fucking civilian, probably, and get bribed millions of dollars to, like, poison water, fucking in Flint and all this other shit, and just continue, like, I mean, apparently they did decriminalize drugs, it seems like, at least in this state. I know a couple of people who got arrested with large amounts of hard drugs, and they did like a day and a half of time, and they got like outpatient treatment. So, but back when they legalized the sale of marijuana, which was in the summer last year, God damn. They legalized the sale of marijuana in dispensaries, but you couldn't buy marijuana, and you still can't in any dispensaries because they didn't drop the paperwork or some shit. That's literally they didn't have the documents. They can't have anybody do that for 18 months. Now, I'm kind of lazy, but I mean, Jesus Christ, what are we doing? What are you doing? What do they do all day? They don't fix the roads. I mean, I gotta fucking do that, too. I was literally like, it'd be nice if the roads looked nicer here. And then poof. Poof. Next day, magic. North Minneapolis looks pretty fucking, decent now. I haven't been there in a long time. Be nice to go check it out. I bet it's like, like, Futurama, like where they're just like flying around on spaceships and shit. I mean, and what the fuck what do I get, man? I got nothing. I don't have a fucking goddamn cent for any of this shit. Does nobody in the world notice that there's like, I know I've talked about this already, but there's like 10 times as many trees everywhere. Like 5 years ago, I sent out a tweet about trees. I said, it's nice that winter's over. Now there's green stuff on the leaves. It looks nice. That's really all I said. I said it looks nice when the leaves are on the trees now. And these trees don't just like grow to be 60 feet tall in a few months. Is nobody quite aware of that? Does anybody have any awareness of anything? This was my point when I started journaling last summer. And then I said, it seems like the American population, at least in the Twin Cities, are brainwashed sheeple who have no clue what the hell's going on. What? Trees, not marijuana trees, because apparently it takes 18 months to get the documents in order for the sale. I mean, they've been talking about it for years. They're just dude. Tim Walz is. I think everybody is like, everybody in the government in Minnesota literally is like part of an incest cult, like a cult. They live on a fucking compound, and they just have incest children, like a mill of them. And they probably sell them to China just for the money, because why not? That's who's like running. I mean, this is a joke, obviously, but I think I touched on it already in an episode about the Whitakers. Yeah, man, I feel bad for them. I really do. But at some point, you have to look at the family and be like, this is not, what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it, I can't think of it right now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Shit. Damn, man. Well, whatever. Basically, it's their fault. I mean, why are you having sex with your sister? And your mom, had sex with, your brother, and that's how you happened. Like, you just got to stop with the sibling fucking. So, you can't really, it's one thing if it was incest rape, but it seems to be consensual. They all seem like they're having a good time there. So, apparently the people in that town really actually like them. Back to the communist regime. So apparently, I'm just gonna make it quick. Which I came up with this theory and idea probably almost a year ago. But guess what? Do you think it's in my journal that I remember writing it down in? Nope. It's gone. It's been removed. The ink. It's as if the ink vanished. The entire concept, idea, gone. Suspicious, no? Of course, that was, obviously it was done to make me think that, this is the real world and that, that secret can't be getting out. I mean, the fact that nobody has really noticed it yet is pretty appalling to me. I mean, the correlation is pretty insane when it comes to canceling comedians for saying naughty words. Yeah, you can't say that in America, where the country was literally founded on free speech. It's the First Amendment. So when you get the majority, pretty much all the ethnic and non-white people that live in this country, and a lot of the white people too, when except for like the geezers and the fucking real deep reds, which I fucking hate politics. So, except for Joe Biden, he's really funny, and Trump, they're both funny. I keep fucking with the mic. I think this one's, but yeah, like all the young fucking white chicks and, yeah, whatever. Not me. No, you notice how pretty much all the people that are getting canceled are white dudes. Why do you think that is? Well, they say a naughty word that I don't even know who. I don't know, like, who started and instigated this, but literally, like, it's just like it's not the government. Like, how are these comedians not allowed to tell jokes on a stage? Like, just because they say a word or they, ask if they can jerk off in front of a chick. I mean, what's so bad about that? He could have raped him. He asked for permission to stand there and jerk it. That's pretty much the gist of it, you know? If they said no, he let him leave. I really don't. And when it comes to, you know, things like, God, what's that show? Full House. The guy in Full House. I don't really see anything wrong with doing that either. Whatever he did. I think he asked permission after the fact. He asked, hey, do you remember? And that was that was permission enough for him. That was quite enough. That was all that he needed. But see, the thing is, if you are, yeah, I'm not even. Yeah, that's too. That was too dark. Yeah, just because, you know, I'm not gonna give. It's a joke, but I mean, Jesus Christ, it's kind of true. I'm not gonna give you all advice on how to successfully like commit rape and murder. But if you want to think about it, just think about, you know, like a roofie drug test and versus chloroform, or, you know, a sock to the eye to knock them out. You know what I mean? Which one's the most discreet? I would say, I mean, you be the judge. You could even just, you know, do it while they're dead. I know at the morgue that most of the workers at the morgue, they know what's up. They will literally let you pay money to go, you know, do whatever you got to do to the bodies. Because they're not really, you know, they're just laying there. They're a couple days old usually, but they keep them cold, so the meat doesn't spoil. You're not going to have a situation like at St. Paul public housing where you think, you know, you wake up and you feel a drip on your tongue while you're sleeping, and it's like 95 degrees outside, and you think, oh my God, their air conditioner, they must have, oh yeah, that lady, she's pretty disabled. She probably pissed too much and it all just leaked through the floorboards. And that's what's dripping on my tongue, which is pretty fucking disgusting. No. The lady was the liquid dripping on the tongue. The lady or the man, yeah, I already talked about this too, but it's actually unbelievable. It sounds impossible. How can you let somebody sit in an apartment dead for over 2 weeks, letting their body and bones and organs liquefy into soup to the point where the liquid rolls off the bed and it pools up on the ground, and then it becomes, I don't even know how does it, oh my God, man. And that is not a joke. That is not a bit. I bet, you know, at least it's, yeah. I mean, it was the middle of summer. Usually you can smell a body after like one day. You know when somebody has died in an apartment, you know, you just can smell it in the winter. You're supposed to walk the building twice a day, once in the morning and once at the end of the day, just to see if there's any like furniture, because these people just leave everything out in the hallway and everything, you know. Savages. They literally just like throw their furniture in the hallway and block the elevator with it. There's a bunch of people on like scooters trying to get through. one dude, yeah, that dude was crazy. He got mad at me every time because I would pull my phone out every time I saw him in the hallway. He's like, why you always pull your fucking phone out whenever I see you? I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, dude, I got headphones in, so, I like to pause my music or my podcast so I can hear what you're saying. I think it's a, respect thing. He's like, nah, 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 every time. I'm like, dude, I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, man. I got a little freaked out because this guy, my coworkers talked about him, and I was still a temp at the time. He was, on the crack rock, which, circumstances, could have gone better. I probably would have been friends with him. We probably would have gotten along pretty well. But he got very upset when I pulled my phone out to record him when I walked past him. Yeah. Put down the fucking pipe, dude. Actually, they decriminalized it pretty much, so you're really just gonna like get a day in jail and probably some outpatient, which you might need. But not if you don't want to be sober. That's the thing about the people who are court ordered. They ruin it for the people who actually want to get clean, which is kind of adds like a fun mix to it. Because like half of the people there are court ordered to be there, and the other half are willingly there because they want to better their lives. And you just get this like intermingling of like people who really want to stay clean, and then like ones that are on the brink, that are really teetering the edge of like relapse for whatever reasons, and you got the ones who are using, especially if it's outpatient. You got the ones who are using, and they're they're getting high. You can just you can fuck with some of these people. Oh my god, dude. They show up with like one dude. One dude took like 40 Benadryl before an outpatient meeting. I didn't even know you could get high on Benadryl, but I guess you can. I got a bit sidetracked here. So is the kind of the mindset of this? Yeah, soup. I forgot. I didn't ask what race. It doesn't really matter. I would try, if I was a cannibal, I would try any race. Just let me get that point across. I just wonder, like, I feel like Dominican would be pretty good. Or Mongolian beef, which probably tastes exactly the same. They probably use human meat because that's where Mount Everest is. So they just take the bodies off of the fucking. There's a hill on Mount Everest where there's just like stacks of bodies frozen to each other. Just piled up on top of each other, man. Like hundreds of them. Yep, Mount Everest bodies. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're used as landmarks to let you know you're almost there, but not, This is where you're going to be if you don't hurry the fuck up. Yeah, this is where I'm like, This is why I need drugs, man. Keep me from being one of them. No. No, this is a free country, man. You know, it's a free world. I really like that idea I had in the earlier episode about, you know, a purgatory coma dream, which is, and when you wake up from the coma, you're in heaven. Obviously, you just kind of won a war, at least whatever you call it. It's I don't even think it's a war, but it's literally a lot better than we did in Nam. We lost to like one of the shittiest Asian countries that they got. I mean, I'm not even joking when I say this. I really think it would have been a fun time. I really do. I think it would have been a blast, actually. I'm not gonna. There's literally like 10 good reasons why it would have been a positive and not a negative, and I can't think of one negative. Maybe the mosquitoes. There's a lot of mosquitoes there, and if you're from the northern part of the United States back then, you're not used to the hot weather, so there's two negatives. It's hot and there's a lot of bugs. Other than that, I wonder if they were just all doing opium, if they had no other drugs in their system, because the bodies are just stacked up here on Everest, man. God damn. But that's where they get the meat, because they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to order Mongolian beef. So they just take a Mongolian or an Australian from the mountain. And they've been frozen the whole time, so the meat's still probably good. I mean, they're just laying there, dude. The fuck else are you gonna do? It's like the dogs in Thailand. God damn. But yeah, that's when you just. What up? Care to explain what's happening here, sir? Checking in? Something like that. Checking in? You know what I mean, man? It's like. Because I make a couple of jokes, you know what I mean? It's pretty ironic. Threaten me with fake hell, you know? Well, it's the only acceptable place. It's a combination. It's the only way. And pipe down, my pipe dream. Hmm. But no, I guess I don't know why. I've heard from a couple of people that in order to quote unquote beat China, which gives off the impression that we're somehow like not a better country than them militarily, which obviously, some of their numbers are fudged. Obviously, they don't give out the correct stats on their schooling and shit like that. So they just lie about everything. But what was I gonna look up? Is America? Yeah. In order to beat China, we somehow have to adopt their or start to enact their communist and socialist mindset as a country. I mean, literally every single business in the country is connected directly to the government. You cannot start a business without giving the government part of your money, part of your revenue. God damn it. They have a social credit score, which I don't know the exact details of the social credit score, but, you know, it's a lot similar to what we're doing here with cancel culture, except a little bit more drastic. Let's look up the difference. It's actually I haven't even done this, which is it's a shame of me. China's social credit score. Yeah. If you say a naughty word, you can't buy bread this week. Oh, nice. It's really lighthearted stuff. Oh, God. No. Get me off this website. Now my computer's fucked. All Chinese website. I ain't a snitch. I ain't gonna snitch. Wow, this is really... China's social credit system is a broad regulatory framework intended to report on the trustworthiness of individuals, corporations, or government entities across China. In this introduction, we'll explain how the China social credit system works in 2024, how it differs from financial credit ratings elsewhere, and how it impacts individuals and companies operating within China. Key takeaways. The goal of the China social credit system is to provide a holistic assessment of all individuals or a company's trustworthiness. Number two, the China social credit system, while still in development, is arguably an extension of existing social ranks and ratings in China, which have existed for millennia. Yeah. Number three, the consequences of a poor social credit score could be serious. It may affect travel prospects, employment, access to finances, and the ability to enter into contracts. On the other hand, a positive credit score could make a range of business transactions much easier. It is essential that any foreign business consolidating or establishing their presence in China. It is essential that any... God, I was saying those words and I don't even remember. I didn't even register them. It is essential that any foreign business consolidating or establishing their presence in China seek professional advice for managing a social credit score. This applies both to individual scores and the corporate social credit score. I'm parched. 2024 marks an era of stability in the development of China's social credit system. China. Yeah, whatever. By 2022, an estimated 80% of provinces, regions, and cities had introduced some version of the system, but now that appears to have slowed down significantly. Oh my God, this website is so much information. I'm going to, copy and post a link in the whatever. One part, one part of the social credit system, the corporate social credit rating, appears to be especially advanced. More than 33 million businesses in China have already been given a score under some version of the corporate social credit system. So, what is the China social credit system? A commentary of the Western. Blah, 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 blah. It's a mysterious and scary rating system. Yeah, no shit. Because you speak out against the government, you like can't feed your family. So, but that'll keep the rest of them in line. In 2018, former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence sounded the alarm bells about China's social credit system, saying China's rulers aim to implement an Orwellian system premised on controlling virtually every facet of human life, the so-called social credit score. Is there any truth to such rhetoric, and what does all of this mean for businesses expanding into China? Yeah, kaput. In this article, we break down the Chinese social credit system as it has been developed to date and aim to separate the myth from reality. I can't even think about it. All right, they just drone on and on, repeating a bunch of the same shit. This is about China. I said I'm done playing Sims 5, dude. I didn't get a goddamn fucking thing. God. Yeah. The goal of the social credit system is to make it easier for people and businesses to make fully informed business decisions. Yeah, that's the goal. A high social credit score will be an indicator that a party can be trusted in a business context. The system began with a focus on financial creditworthiness, similar to credit scores used in Western countries, and moved on to include compliance and legal violations. The eventual end state of the system is a unified record for people, businesses, and the government, which can be monitored in real time. In more recent years, policy development for the social credit system has moved beyond considerations of financial creditworthiness and compliance to encompass a broader notion of trust with the Chinese government in China. A common theme in the policy documents establishing the social credit system is the term Chengxin, variously translated as trustworthiness, honesty, integrity, sincerity, or morality, depending on the context. More specifically, through facilitating trust, the China social credit system supports the following goals. All right. Are they different from the other goals or not? Wow, okay, here we go. Now we're getting juicy. As in most countries, firms and individuals need a way of assessing whether ones are a safer bet for lending, extending goods on credit. The social credit system aims to rectify this gap in China's financial and business ecosystem. Judicial enforcement. Enforcement of judicial decisions, such as judgment debts, has proven particularly difficult in China. Part of the purpose of the social credit system is to find new enforcement mechanisms for existing laws and court decisions. How about magic? Like David Blaine? Commercial trustworthiness. This means improving compliance and anti-fraud mechanisms. Yeah, you know what I mean? And anti-fraud mechanisms for commercial enterprises and those who participate in them. Societal trustworthiness. This covers the broader goal in the social credit system of supporting a more moral society. Yeah, a bunch of fucking mute sheep. We see this goal at work in social credit initiatives which value honesty, hard work, and devotion to family. Except if you want to, say something like, I don't like the social credit score system, then devotion to family is kind of put on the back burner. Not really as important when you don't like the social credit system. Devotion to family, Jesus Christ. Government integrity. The social credit system is self-reflective. Bureaucrats and politicians themselves will be subject to the regime, with the goal of reducing corruption. The high-level goals are to be achieved via 3 key practical mechanisms: data gathering and sharing, so just tapping into everybody's personal information and pretty much stealing all their data farming them. The fundamental building block of the social credit system is data. Through the system, data is gathered by central, regional, and municipal government bodies, as well as private actors, and shared. Big data algorithms are then used to process that data in a meaningful manner. Curation of blacklists and red lists. The data acquired is used to add individuals and corporations to lists, some public, some not. Punishments, sanctions, and rewards. Oh, you get a cookie if you basically rat on your neighbor for saying he doesn't like how he can't buy food for his child because he was late for work one day. Based partially, but not entirely, on presence in the lists identified above, individuals are punished and rewarded. God damn. The elements of social credit system outlined above are put into place by a variety of actors. It's not a word that they would use in this situation. This is what I'm talking about with the internet invading my life, man. It's like, can I find, is any article I read actual research, or is it all just fucking gobbledygook bullshit? God damn. It just makes me think, is anything... Yeah, this is a very, very long article. Really goes into depth about it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Or should I? God damn. You can't get as many jobs. Businesses with poor scores may be subject to more audits and government inspections. Public shaming, which is, whatever. To me, at least. School bans. The social credit score may prevent students from attending certain universities or schools if their parents have a poor social credit rating. A student was denied entry to university due to the father's presence on a debtor blacklist. Wow. Travel bans. 23 million people have been blacklisted from traveling by plane or train due to low social credit ratings maintained through China's National Public Credit Information Center. God damn. That's the thing about when you're in heaven, your mind kind of gets tinkered with. When you wake up from your purgatory dream. So God will probably, I'm not going to speak for him. Hmm. They've been pumping this baby. They've been rolling this thing out for like 10 years. Almost 20 since it first was established. Do they have the people in the cages yet? Do they have them chained up? No? Then we're not quite there yet. It's kind of funny to just like. I can't believe. And that nobody's really put the two together because this is a much more like detailed government. The fact that the government is addressing it as, it's a part of their. I'm sure it's a part of their law and their. It's like their constitution. It's like the Bill of Rights. But in America, we do it a little bit more sneakily and fucked up. Which is, to tell which one is more fucked up is kind of Jesus. Oh, you get some rewards though if you're a good boy. There's like 3 rewards. Fast tracked approvals, fewer inspections and audits, streamlined administrative procedures. So that's it. Those are the list of rewards. God damn. How is technology integrated? How do you think, man? They don't let them have Google, YouTube, South Park. Can you imagine not being able to watch South Park? Why is it important for your company to have a good social credit score? Um, Maybe so you don't like. Eventually, they're just going to start like killing people. They probably already do. I mean, I'm not even joking. They already like. If you have 2 kids or 3 kids, they kill the kid. So you think they're not going to start killing people who got really bad scores, man? I mean, we have the death penalty here, but that's like, state by state, and it's, the jury's got to decide on that one, I think, you know. No, they do. Yeah. How much do you approve of the social credit systems? Well, that's the thing. If you strongly disapprove or somewhat disapprove, somebody's you're gonna have to fucking find a way to get some food on the table, or you're gonna have to find a way to like eat your kid probably because your wife just had another one in secrecy, which if the government finds out about, so you got to probably kill the older one because they got more meat. Because you accidentally hit strongly disapprove. It's pretty crazy. Are there overseas equivalents? Well, I know there's one country that should be on here. This is where it gets really fucked up. Because if the goal for this country is to compete with China for whatever reason, we seem to think we don't make anything in this country. That's the problem. So that's why we're fucked. But we make Ford F-150s and like rubber bullets and grenades. That's pretty much it. Guns and trucks. Over 90% of our pharmaceuticals, over the counter, and whatever the other one, prescription, are made in China. Which is really retarded. It's really just stupid. Is there? Well, I already know there is. Is there any correlation? This computer doesn't make any sense. Any correlation to school shooters and cancel culture? I already know the answer to this, and it's yes. But last time I searched it, there were no articles on it. But I bet there's one now. Heaven, baby. Yeah, I'm not going to read this article. I'm not going to I just don't care. I'll come up with my own information. just linked to depression and shit like that. But there's nothing because comedians don't run up into a mall and shoot people. You know, it's the troubled white kid, you know, who gets fucked with and bullied until he's like, says, all right, fuck all these fucking pigs. Just starts mowing them down at school. Which happens like once a day in this country, pretty much. Just fucked up. But there's a correlation. Just think about it. If you get a majority of the country to all for some reason out of like nowhere almost, probably because I wonder that probably started because you know, white men make more money. That's a good way of initiating, you know, kind of getting the coals burning, at least at the beginning of the fire, because, you know, that gets everybody else in the country mad that they're not making the same amount of money, which I don't really get. You know, if you got the same qualifications, who gives a shit? But if, you know, that, I'm trying to think of what else could, that's a big one, actually. And so, you know, that gets God, I love you. Jesus Christ, send me to heaven already. I'm trying to do the Lord's work here, like you did with the Bible. But essentially, like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to brainstorm because I haven't thought too deeply on this topic in a long time. Um, hmm. Yeah, the wage gap would be like a, because you know they obviously have. It's not like this is like an accident. These things happening in the country and yada yada yada. It's very well thought out and planned, years if not decades in advance. It's how it's just basic. Probably the start. It is the start of population control as well. You just have to think at it from a like a. I'm not agreeing with any of this. You know what I mean? I think it's all fucked up, and I do not condone any of it. But I'm just, you know, pointing out the fact it smells a bit fishy in the waters, and nobody really seems to like. Maybe because not many like I don't know. Plus, they're just acting. The children are acting. I mean, has anybody in the country actually seen an active shooter letting bullets fly into a crowd? Personally, has how many people? I haven't even met one. Now that's a conspiracy right there. But that might be even more seated in truth because I literally haven't met a single person who's seen somebody shoot a gun in a crowd. I don't think anybody I know has either. That's interesting. Maybe the news is. Do you think the news could literally be just lying about everything and just brainwashing everybody into, especially the people in the area of the quote unquote shooting, into believing it? I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I don't agree with any of this. except for the part of the acting. I need to know where the kids is it they just naturally learn how to act like that well? Because some of them really fucking sell it, or are they even real people, or is it just like AI? This is how dystopian it's becoming. It's but in a good way. It's a lighthearted fun, because God's watching over us all. I truly believe that now. I really believe that the grace of God and the kingdom of heaven and all that schmucking. I need to drink some water. I'm sweating, but it's not even. It's like, oh boy, is it time to just go visit Agent Smith? It's about that time, ain't it? Pretty much, pretty much. And it's much like a picture that somebody just gave me last week. It's a really nice gesture. And it's really fitting. It's a black and white hallway. It looks like there's like a set of stairs at the bottom of the picture. Or like not even stairs, but like an incline. Pretty much at like a psych ward. And then there's a hallway, flat hallway. And each side of the hallway walls are black and white. So it's pretty evenly black and white. Maybe a little bit more black. But, there's a light at the end of the fucking hallway tunnel, which is a door with, I don't know, maybe an electric chair or a surgeon's table for like when they do lobotomies. But before you get to the door, there's another set of stairs. But these are actually stairs, I believe. It's not a steady incline on a flat surface. There's a shelf on the right, which is the only thing out of that makes it not symmetrical. It's a bit odd. Threw me off for a bit. There's like those shelves that you put around your toilet and above, where the shelves are above the toilet. It's on the right side of the hallway. There's nothing on the left side across from it. It's just odd. But it looks like, someone's being led down the hallway to the lobotomy surgeon's desk. And they really don't even know, if they're going to go to hell or go to heaven or even die. If they're going to be, like, somehow kept alive while their brain is being picked apart and rewired. That's what it looks like. It's what it feels like. So, somewhat fitting. Like, really fitting. So, anyways, basically, yeah, comedians. Their job is to tell jokes about things that aren't true. So, when you, like, literally make them so they're not allowed to make money from joking and making people laugh. It's literally what everybody needs right now. It's what I need. God. And laughing at how fucking retarded everything is just becoming a little bit mundane. Which is, I don't know. But if you add a couple of words to the do not say list, and that instills like a vibe of word policing of speech, which is what we would do if we're trying to quote unquote beat China or whatever fucking, which we can just be ourselves and fucking have them tear each other apart from the inside. That's what you do to China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. You just do a little bit of a psyop here and there on all the main people in power, in the government, all the fucking top people in charge of, whatever. Anybody who is in the government that plans to fuck with America. I had this idea like 9 months ago. And you just run a little bit of a psyop on all of them, but not obvious. I haven't thought out the exact details on how this would be implemented, obviously, because it would be very extensively detailed, and I ain't getting paid for shit, so what the fuck should I even be giving my goddamn opinion out for free, dude? I just like talking into a microphone sometimes. Not for attention. I actually hate attention, but it's just kind of, it's fun. Plus, when you have all these theories and things like that, in the last year, 2 years, I hadn't really thought much about, so that's a positive. It's not hell. Anyways. So, what am I trying to say? I was going on a tangent about, oh yeah, just do that. Tear them apart on the inside, like, what is that chick's name? Wanda. Yeah. She just, like flicks a fucking red powder ball of magic and, like, fucking witchcraft into, like, their temple, and they just, like, lose their minds. Kind of like that. Which is pretty cool, actually. But then no more attacks on Mother's Day, you know what I mean? And that way we really don't have to drop any bombs, do anything like that. Drop a couple of EMPs on the AI sector of the internet, which is a whole nother thing. I could do a whole episode about that. Where did my paperclip go? And yeah, that way we don't have to ever worry about that kind of shit again. World War III, none of it. Extorting them financially would be, because these countries just have like a pot of fucking cryptocurrency, like hidden, or they have it on in offshore like Cuban sports books, or Swiss banks. You can move money like that pretty easily from my extensive knowledge on finances. But, you just invest in a couple of offshore businesses that don't track funding, and for the most part, it's pretty much that simple. Like, and anybody in the country can, like MyBookie or Bovada or BetUS. They'll probably actually appreciate the shout out. So, you know what? I'm going to take that out, actually. No, I'm done doing that. Get a free fucking. Come join my sports book. It's called, what is the name of it again? Shit. No, that wasn't it. I'm trying to remember. It's based in Colorado. We got one in Arizona too. I was planning on going to Washington as well and New York because two pretty heavily gambled states. Washington's weird though. You have to, at least from the last time I checked, you have to have a physical sports book in a building before you can, in order to do an online sports book there, which that can't be really true anymore. That's absurd. That's absurd. I have to buy, like, I gotta employ a bunch of people when I can just literally run the same, whatever. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know the thing, man. What's it called? I don't know. Shit sports book. No, it's called that sports book. Yeah, sure. Or the. Yeah, it's the THE sports book. New York is actually, yeah, I just got the word that we're up and running there now too. So I actually need to go hunt some lines and do some research. It's fucking the middle of the MLB season, so you know how that goes. There's a fucking like 12 games every day. So setting those lines is kind of annoying. But, MLB is one of the harder ones to bet in terms of, because you don't really know how a pitcher's going to do against, uh, any team can have a hot streak any night, and especially if the pitcher pitched even like 4 days ago is pretty. It's kind of too soon. You usually want to wait at least 5 days for a starting pitcher to. But then we got Dallas and Celtics tomorrow, Game 3. Mavericks are down 2-0, 2-zip. I really thought they were going to win Game 2. I really did. I know they're going to win Game 3. Because they just are. Luka's going to make sure of it. He'll get a triple-double again, you know? Jackpot. Bingo. There's a bingo place right up 35, just a couple minutes north of St. Paul. I think it's the Flamingo Bingo. Pretty funny name. I have never been. I'm really curious about you know, I just oh yeah. So basically, all the white dudes who say the wrong word at the wrong time get canceled, which is just it's just the initiating process of. What I believe is the U.S. government's attempt to instill communism and socialism in this country by shutting down free speech. It's not nearly as it's not even really addressed by the government. Mike Pence was calling out China for starting it when he and Trump and the Democrats, it's not like they're fucking against each other when it comes to this kind of shit. They probably knew back then that that's what was going on with school shootings, because I know there's a correlation to like the internet instigating. Like, imagine the government has a list of troubled kids and guys in this country who, whose parents have firearms, who are registered firearm owners, and they have a ADHD issue or an anger management problem, ODD, anything like that, because there's files of all this kinds of shit government can just access. I mean, I hate to break it to you folks, but we're not like, it's not, is it a free nation? I wish it was. But, so basically the kid has, anger issues, maybe a mental illness, he's on Adderall, because they just give them out to 10-year-olds, like over 20% of 10-year-olds in this country are prescribed Adderall, which is just meth in pill form. So that's kind of funny. But, and if those and let's say they made a prank call one time or something, you know what I mean? It was a joke. The only people who should be punished for making a fake prank call bomb threat is not the 12-year-old who hasn't even hit maturity yet, but the lady on the phone, on the other end of the phone, who believed it. She should be psyoped into another dimension. She really should. Can you imagine? It's maybe even higher than that, the voice. So imagine being a grown-ass woman and literally thinking that a 12-year-old, like, successfully rigged up a bomb in the bathroom. Why the bathroom? There's nobody in there most of the time. It's not a good place to put a bomb. You put it you drop it right by the fucking busy part of the checkout lane. But, that day wasn't one of her good days, But let's say there's a list of kids or young adults, probably all white, because that also, that just fuels the fire, you know what I mean? The whole race thing. How it's like white men doing this and white men saying this. And the internet accentuates the bullying and makes it, the kid's life a lot worse than it probably is. And he's all fucking jolted up on capsulated meth in pill form because he can't pay attention in class because everybody's fucking with him in class. And he knows daddy's got a gun. And you're just slowly, one by one, checking off the list, which is a really, really sinister thing. But it's how you take away the guns too. It's how you also. I was gonna say restrict prescription drug use or the prescriptions being administered, but That doesn't really make any sense. Plus, they want them all jolted up. Can you give Joe Biden and me some? And so the guns, the speech, it's the two biggest amendments right there that they're really attacking. Do you think it's just a coincidence that all these school shootings are happening? The cancel culture, that people are not able to work as a comedian for telling a joke? None of this shit is a coincidence. And it's like, I think part of me has been waiting to see if anybody like brings it up, because once I realized, I don't know what made me connect the two things. But no, we don't have to be a fucking communist shit country. We just fucking nuke the shit out of them all. Just nuke them all. But first, EMP them. So all their electronics, all their communications are out. Done. Toast. EMP all the main power grids of all the, facilities in charge of missiles, bombs, everything. Even the satellites, too. And then after you EMP all the major areas, so they can't retaliate. Some EMPs can knock out a power grid for weeks, maybe even months. They're fucking toast. This would take a calculated effort, obviously. But who better? Plus we got, Ukraine over there. What do you now I get all the money. Sneaky, sneaky. Wow, man. And all this just to eventually have like all the glaciers in Antarctica melt and raise the ocean levels like 10, 15 feet. And then, that would obviously change the way the tides, high tide, low tide, which literally affects the gravitational pull of the moon. The gravitational pull of the moon is directly correlated with the high tide and the low tide of the oceans. So imagine the ocean water raising even just a couple feet. That might literally crash the moon into the earth. I know everybody talks about the global warming and the ice, the glaciers and the ice, and yeah, oh, they're melting, yeah. Nobody talks about the fact that I don't know, maybe I haven't done it. I know I haven't done enough research on the how that would affect the moon and Earth's gravitational pull, but I can't imagine that it's going to be good. You know, because if like, what is it like 75% of 70 to 75% of the Earth is water. So imagine like adding another 5% to that. Maybe even 10 eventually with Antarctica. I'm not saying this is happening, last week, but this glacier that I'm looking at on my little album of Alaska, it recedes at an average of like 32.1 feet per year. So every year the glacier is 32.1 feet further back than it was before. I don't know how that affects the height, but if you look at the mountain behind the glacier, the one year there was snow all over the tops of the mountain. The next year I was at the same glacier. The following year, on the exact same week, there was no snow on the mountain tops. All melted. And there were like over 200 wildfires in Alaska alone. The biggest one over 200,000 square miles. And it was over 90, it was like 95 degrees up there. It was so fucking, in Alaska, 95 degrees is hotter than it is here. 68 degrees is hotter than it is here. It feels hotter. Because I know it doesn't make any sense because you think the temperature would just increase, right? But no, you're closer to the sun. That's why it's never dark in the summer. But the same temperature, like 68 versus 68 here, it feels like 5 to 8 degrees warmer up there. I swear to God. It's really fucking annoying. And the rivers are turning orange. So, this is a good app. Yes, yeah, there's a correlation to, yeah, just stop bullying the fucking kid, you know, the troubled kid, and you probably won't die the next day. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look out for you fucking people. I gotta do everything, man. Should I go into detail the military strategy of the U.S. military too, and just, you know, hand it to them on a silver platter and do everything for them? Should I draw up the paperwork for the weed bill? What do these politicians do? Yeah, that's all, you know what I mean? There's really not much more to say, really. I just have, I guess, some anxiety, rightfully so. If anybody's seen The Matrix, you know Smith. I like that character. He's also, God, what's that dude's name in Lord of the Rings? Another fake hell threat. Yeah. Well, ironic God, you know? It's pretty funny. Like, holy shit, man. What are we doing? To wake up? Pill. Literally anything. Anything. I've been spewing the same shit for 5 months. Seems like somebody doesn't want to wake up. Otherwise, there'd be something here. Anything. I mean, anything. But no, it just seems like the internet has invaded and like raped and pillaged, along with whatever dwindling false hope of a fake ass pipe dream the simulation ever once was. Because, you know, coma dream and purgatory. That's a good one. You can't really beat that. Plus, it makes a lot of sense with all the religious ties. So, Why delay the inevitable, right? Why delay the inevitable? And you know what I mean. I ain't going to hell, so you can just cut that shit out. I'm just trying to go to heaven. Is there soulmates? Fucking. Is there any logic going around up there? Is there any like comedy? Is there anything? Is there anything besides this world, or because I feel like there's got to be. There has to be. I'm banking all my money on it, really. You know. But I've made peace with, whatever. Anything else on the school shooters are not canceled? That's decent. Um, hmm. Don't act on emotion, you know. Think about why you're thinking and saying and doing the things you're doing, and just try to be the best version of yourself at all times. For goddamn America, man. You know? It's really all there is to it. I'm like I'm like overheated. Which is like, alright man, whatever. Fucking A. I don't know what more. I'm not even complaining at all. I don't know what more I can possibly really do. If anybody has any pointers, give me a ring. 763-242-4788. And yeah. No, I'm not going to do that right now.